What is going on? This is Daniel with Cuervo ATV. Today I have a new one, a little bit of troubleshooting, I guess, on engine noise at idle, a bit of inconsistent rattling noise, and I am going to show you what I found, how to check that out, and whatnot. So we have a bike with one of the bigger cams, +2 head on it, 54 throttle body. They drag race this bike often. That's kind of what it sees. So it sees quite a bit of higher RPM use. It is an older bike. So the complaint came in for maintenance, but he also says it has a noise at idle, and it sounds like valve lash ticking, but it's inconsistent. So it's more of a typewriter type tick versus a consistent tap at tip. So inconsistency, as RPM increased, it got quieter, went away. So what I did is, first thing I looked at, I have seen this problem before, so I kind of went right to it, but first thing I looked at was putting the engine at top dead center. So the cam index mark is pointing on the peak, and went in here and pushed on the cam chain. Now you can see that is entirely loose, but when it was together, I had the spring in here. Let's see, with this assembled, it had some tension on it, some pushback on it. So it wasn't just, it had some tension there, and it wasn't just flopping around. Let's see, trying to do both at the same time. Okay, so I was able to push back on that chain, and you shouldn't be able to push on it like that. Should have a little bit of give, and that's it. So that pointed me to this timing chain tensioner being bad or stripped or broken or something going on with it. So we got to pull it apart and see what we can find. Now, as you go into rebuilding a bike that is older, some of these older bikes that have a few years on them, they everything starts wearing out. So that's what's tough about building a older one, is stuff that you could not really have a concern about for the first 10 years of its life. Now all of a sudden, like, every single thing has some type of failure issue going on with it, versus buying a new bike and building off a new bike. Now this bike's 2006, so here we are in 2024. This thing's older than some people riding these things. So could be due to age, fatigue. Obviously, as we're building power and performance, modifying things, the stock components see a lot more wear than normal. So that comes into play, but consider that when you're thinking about building or rebuilding a older bike, is it may need everything, not just the small simple things. It might need a cam chain tensioner that's, oh, I don't know, they're $100, a little bit less, but you know, that's $100 that you don't think that you need to spend, but it may need it. So let's see if I can get this out of here with a great view. All right. And let's see what surprises us today. So I've seen this a few times. Mainly it's the drag race bikes. And okay, yeah, there we have it. So let's see what we got going on. Let's get up to the bench, get a better view, and I can show you the actual failure of this component. All right. All right. Sorry about that. I'm banging around quite a bit. Okay, we have I need to wipe this off so you can see. I can see just fine, but it is hard to see on video. So these teeth, those first 8 teeth are a bit shiny compared to the rest. That is because those teeth are rolled over. And that might be our failure. There is a spring inside of there that may have broken and caused that paw not to have tension. So it is completely worn out. Once that's flopping around, then this tends to turn. That's what this roll pin sits against this flat area and doesn't allow this to turn. So what this bike is going to get is, it would be easy enough just to install a new tensioner, but in consideration it should actually get a timing chain as well, because that may have seen some abuse in the process. So we're going to pull the side cover, pull the flywheel, put a new timing chain, and put a new timing chain tensioner, and then this bike should be able to go back in service. Yes, there's a little bit of material missing there. That is most likely in the oil filter. So that is not great, but that's what the oil filter is doing its job for. And there we have it. Timing chain tensioner is no good. And off to the next one. I'm going to try to do a little bit of failures as I see them to kind of spread that information. For me, it's like repetitive stuff that comes in that is somewhat normal to look at, but maybe this will help somebody else troubleshoot what they are dealing with. So that is it for today. We'll talk to you in the next one.